meant a very expensive education curriculum, yet we don't even have the money. We are hoping that some well-wisher will give us the money.
But the train has already left the station. Would we rather go back, or how best can we take advantage of this opportunity that even you yourself is citing is a good and a step in the right direction, that CBC is actually going to sort of neutralize the rigidity of, you know, passing the exam. Whether you've gotten the skills, whether you've acquired whatever it is you've been taken through in your learning journey, doesn't matter. As long as you score the highest grades. I mean, how do we take advantage of the CBC, you know, curriculum without looking at the negativities that are there?
No, you know, everything is about money. I don't think it's just that it's a good thing, we want it. But you have to train the teachers. I am a teacher at a high school level for almost 20 something years. I was in Mombasa with my fellow colleagues who are teachers, and all of them are telling us we are yet to be trained about how we'll receive the ones who are coming into high school. In the end of this year, there's grade 6. CBC is getting into high school, lower secondary school, lower high school. Now, my colleagues in high school are yet to know and to understand what CBC is all about. Can you imagine? We have got 6 months to go into having to receive these guys in our high schools, and we are not yet trained. We don't know what it's all about. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. The thing is, we were in a hurry. Kwame Nkrumah, the founding president of Ghana, said, sometimes in Africa, we are like people who are late to catch a train. You know, others left, the train left. Left the station. They left the station, as you put it, that the train has left. So all we are doing now, we are running after that train. And they're trying to tell everybody, you see, we also have trains we want to catch. But we are getting it wrong. As long as the train has left, but without the engine is the teacher, the engine is the learners, the parents. Then as much as the train has left, you must ensure that that train has enough fuel to go, which is the economy. You must ensure that the train has got good drivers to drive it, which are the teachers, and that is the issue.
Okay, sorry to cut you short. Remember, you're also following up for you the updates on the plans to inter the third president of the Republic of Kenya, Mwai Kibaki, whose death was announced yesterday. Right now, we just want to cross over to Harambee House right here in Nairobi. The Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, is giving an update with regards to that.
The family of the late His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki. We have finalized preliminary plans for the state funeral of His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, and would like the public to know that this will take place on Friday the 29th of April 2022 at Nyayo National Stadium, and President Kibaki will then be laid to rest in Othaya, Nyeri on Saturday 30th April 2022. Before then, the President's body will lie in state at the National Assembly for 3 days, between Monday and Wednesday this week, for members of the public and the rest of the country's leadership to pay their respects. We will issue a very comprehensive statement and plan tomorrow with details of other activities that will happen between tomorrow and Saturday 30th. But I would like, on behalf of my colleagues in the National Steering Committee who are here, to observe that members of the public need to be informed that for those who are in Nairobi who would like to visit with the family, this will have to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday at President Kibaki's Nyeri office. We are going to provide the details and the map to the office, and this is where any of those, especially members of the diplomatic corps and any senior members of the public who may wish to visit the family or to convey their condolences in person to the family, they would go to the Nyari office on Tuesday and Wednesday, details of which we will give. We are going to set up a facility at the Othaya CDF office in Nyeri for members of the public, because that office is centrally located in town, and it will afford members of the public and the leaders from that part of our country an opportunity to also visit, sign a condolence book, and pay their respects. But effective Monday afternoon, there will be condolences signing in very many public offices. We are going to put up a condolence book in the two houses of Parliament, Senate and the National Assembly, government ministries. There will be one right here at Harambee House. Members of the diplomatic corps can also visit and sign at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because there will be a condolence book there. We will also distribute by Tuesday morning condolence books to all our county headquarters for leaders and members of the public across the country to visit and deliver their condolences in writing. We'll also have condolence books in our regional headquarters across the country from Tuesday morning. So on my own behalf, on behalf of my colleagues in the National State Funeral Steering Committee, including the members of the family of His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, who have joined us this morning, once again, we would like to continue to pray for the nation, pray for the country during this difficult time, and pray that the Lord strengthens all of us, and especially the family of our beloved retired President Kibaki during this difficult moment. And finally, reiterate a commitment of the government, as was outlined by His Excellency our President yesterday, that President Kibaki will be given a state send-off with the highest honors because of the distinct service he rendered to our country. That's all for now, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us.
All right, that is the Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, accompanied by members of the National State Funeral Steering Committee. They are just speaking after they've had their first meeting following the death of the country's third president, the late Emilio Stanley Mwai Kibaki, whose death was announced yesterday. And from what we've gathered is that the late president is going to be laid to rest on 30th of April 2022 at his Othaya home in Nyeri County. But of course, before that happens, his body is going to be laid in state from Monday to Wednesday. The body of the late President Mwai Kibaki is going to lie in state at the National Assembly. This is between Monday to Wednesday. So any member of the public and leaders also will have a chance to view his body. But of course, they say that a comprehensive statement is going to be issued tomorrow on what other activities are going to be undertaken between tomorrow and Saturday before the body of the former president is laid to rest. But in the meantime, those who wish to, pass their messages of condolences in person within Nairobi are advised to visit President Kibaki's Nyari office. This is on Tuesday and Wednesday this coming week. In case you want to convey your messages in person, you visit his Nyari office on Tuesday and Wednesday. And of course, other members of the public and leaders will also have a chance to do that via signing a condolence book that is going to be placed at different, locations. First, via CDF office in Nyeri County, they are going to set up a facility where residents and leaders in that region will visit and, of course, sign a condolence book. And on Monday afternoon, a condolence book, several condolence books will be placed at various government facilities, that is the two houses of parliament, the National Assembly and the Senate, government ministries, and of course also at Harambee House, so that leaders can also reach out and sign. And of course it is going to trickle down to the county headquarters on Tuesday morning. Books will be delivered to the different county headquarters also for leaders in the counties and residents of different counties to also sign the condolence books. And of course also the books will be delivered also to the regional headquarters for signing. That is an update we've just received from the Interior CS, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, concerning the plans to bury the third president of the Republic of Kenya, Emilio Stanley Mwai Kibaki. As we speak right now, the update is that he's going to be laid to rest on 30th of April, the year 2022. In the meantime, courtesy of the presidential proclamation by President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, the nation is observing a period of mourning that started yesterday until the day of his burial, that now is set for 30th of April, and all flags are now being flown at half-mast at State House and different, designated locations. We'll be giving you details as we continue receiving them in our newsroom here at Kcse Channel 1, even as we continue to condole and, just join the entire country in mourning the death of the country's third president. Now, in studio also, some of the issues we are following up for you include the expected release of the 2021 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education Examination results that should be happening any minute from now. And we have just been having a conversation ahead of that. We have our team at the Kenya National Examination Council headquarters right here in Nairobi, just following up that for us. Any minute from now, we should also be crossing over to this particular venue. You can see there stakeholders already seated and waiting for the official, commencement of that particular event. These are pictures we are getting from the Kenya National Examination Council headquarters right here in Nairobi. The Education CS Professor George Magoha is going to be officially releasing those particular results for us. But in studio, we are having a conversation around this particular event and how it's going to shape, activities in the next few days and months, as candidates, over 800,000 candidates are expected to be taking the next step in their academic life, that is joining colleges, technical institutions and universities. And I've been having a conversation with Peter Amunga. He's an education advocate. Thank you, Peter, for staying with us. And just to take you back to what we were discussing earlier concerning the examinations, there's been a lot of talk, around the choice of schools. And we saw that when, the candidates of the 2021 Kenya Certificate of Primary Education were being slotted in different secondary schools across the country, parents really insisted they had a preference for certain schools. We had complaints and concerns about, not getting a chance in specific schools, yet their children performed very well. As an educationist, I'd just like to ask you, as we anticipate these results, is the choice of the school, does it have anything to do with how the child is going to perform at the end of the day?
Of course it does. What happens is that all of us will remember when we were in school, one of the biggest important exercises in the life of a candidate is when the teacher comes and says, which school would you like to go after you have standard 7 or standard 8 for that matter? This choice of school that a child goes matters this way. Every school in this country has got a culture. Every high school, I've taught in different high schools, every school that I've taught in has a different culture. The culture at Kisumu Boys High School is very different from the culture at Kakamega High School. The culture at, say, Mukumu Girls is different from the culture at Kenya High. Sometimes it's to do with religion. Some of our schools are kind of have some bias towards maybe the Catholic Church, or maybe towards the Muslim faith, or maybe towards the Christian faith. Maybe like Alliance is the Thogoto, you know. So there's that kind of also that culture that came into schools that was brought by the missionaries, when they began the schools. Some of those schools have got a history. Now, I've talked about the culture and tradition of the school. Some of our schools also have got something we call a history. Like, for example, at Maseno School, the people who went to Maseno School will always tell you, the Maseno, those of us who are in Maseno, So
it comes with a bit of pride.
There's some pride that the Maseno, So when you go somewhere, even to a social joint, and you talk, and you are seated with people who learned maybe in that place, they tell you, where did you go to school? You mention a school like Shamsinjiri where I went. They say, what, you are not supposed to sit here. Because to them, the name of the school matters. And that thing has gone down to our children, gone down to our parents of today, that our parents believe in some certain names. Precious Blood Riruta, the Loreto Limuru. The reason being, and what CBC...
But is it a right way of thinking?
It's not.
Is it a right way of thinking that the performance of my son or daughter actually depends on the school that they get enrolled at the end of the day?
Not at all. Now, as a teacher of many years, I can say this. The problem of parents imagining that your daughter or your child must go, say, to Kisumu Girls, because maybe you went to Kisumu Girls, and so you feel that your daughter must go to a big school like that one. It's a wrong thing. All schools have got the same teachers. We teachers, whether you graduate from Kenyatta University or from Moi University or from Kericho Teachers College, we're always the same. We are trained the same way. The training is the same. In fact, you may discover that some of the best teachers in this country are not at Alliance Girls or Alliance Boys. Some of them may just be in some of these very small schools without names. The parents must reach a place and discover it's not the name of the school. Children pass. And that's why I really like Magoha. Because Magoha has been trying to eliminate that thing.
Thank you. Talking of Magoha, right now we just want to cross over very quickly to the Kenya National Examination Council headquarters. We understand that the event has officially begun. Let's listen in.
Thank you very much. We've made upstanding, and I would like to request that we observe a minute of silence in honor of the departed soul of our third president, His Excellency Mwai Kibaki. 1 minute of silence. Thank you. May his soul rest in peace. Agnes Mondo for our opening prayer. Thank you.
Let us bow our heads for word of prayer. Our Father and our God, we humble ourselves in your presence this afternoon. We want to thank you for your care. We thank you for life. We thank you for protection. We thank you for bringing us to an end of this academic year, Jehovah God. We thank you that you have seen us through, even in the midst of our pandemic, Jehovah God. You remained faithful. You took care of us. You took care of our children. And this day, Jehovah God, we can only say you're Ebenezer in our lives. Thank you for our leaders. Thank you for this organization.